Hello and welcome to another episode of Evening Crypto with your host, your boy, the real Cha256. Tonight, I want to do an episode exclusively for those who are subscribed. This will just be a short update on Bitcoin as we do inch back in the market, back up to 200 billion, excuse me, total market cap. And we're trading about $81 billion in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance did inch up a bit, quite just over the 68.2% mark. And things are looking in the up and up for looks like an inverse head and shoulders that we've seen before just a couple of weeks ago when I made that call here in this channel, and I told you guys that was a definite possibility. Then the move actually ended up playing out. I did tweet about it on my Twitter. So if you guys go through my feed, you'll see that I gave you guys that sort of a signal that things were looking to have a bounce given that formation. Again, you always want to be careful. I've always told you guys in this channel that those formations don't always play out, but you definitely want to have sort of a step ahead and just be mindful that that is going on and that is a possibility, and that way you can play it and get into that position accordingly as you see it play out, right? So just a warning call there. But let's get into the update. Before we actually get into that, do want to ask you guys to follow me on Twitter at the Real Shot 256. Some of you have actually given me a shout out there that you guys are definitely following. Wiki, who recently became part of the community here. I want to give you a shout out and say thanks for joining, and also thanks for following on Twitter. I appreciate that. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty here. And let's actually look at what I'm talking about. Let's look at the 4 hour real quick. Zoom in here. It looks like we're building the right shoulder here on this, what seems to be a sort of a head and shoulders. Here's the left shoulder. Here's the right shoulder kind of building. As we did see here, this one did play out, and we gave you guys, I was talking about that one, I gave you guys tweeting that sort of signal of this actually brewing in the charts. And hopefully, I know a couple of you guys did respond, so hopefully you guys got in on the action there. But we did build a inverse head and shoulders formation here, and did actually play out all the way up here. That was the sort of the signal there. And now we're seeing it again right now. A couple of weeks fast forward, we are seeing that Bitcoin after this about $1,000 move up. Back here a couple of days ago, I did a video and I was telling you guys for the last couple of videos, if I'm not, if I am correct, a couple of videos ago, I started talking to you guys about Bitcoin actually looking pretty bottomish, like it has found a turning point. And was letting you guys know that, hey, there's a possible bounce actually brewing. The sellers were kind of running out, and then we saw this nice little wick here, pretty sizable wick here, to indicate that there's a lot of buying pressure down here, and actually propelled the price upward. I also told you guys about, I wanted to see a white crow, the three white crow formation. Go back to my last couple of videos. I was talking about this, and we actually did see that, right? We actually did see the three white crows come up on the 4 hour, which again is a short time frame that actually does have some weight. And I usually look at the 4 hour if I want to build a case for either a bearish or a bull run. So we got the signal, we got the three white crows. We also got it on the daily, if I'm not mistaken, bullish engulfing candle here, signaling that we are reversing now the last couple of days. This is a brand new candle, actually respecting the 30 simple here. Not completely a bullish posture here. As long as we don't lose the 30 here on this daily, I think we'll be all right. But most importantly, we are being rejected by the 21. Again, the 21 as the 30 should not represent that big of a deal, or should not represent that much resistance. The fact that we're actually being rejected two days in a row, it's definitely not a good sign. But as long as we don't lose the 30, we might get stuck within this range here. But eventually, I do want to see Bitcoin actually get on top of the 21 and this 80, this 100 simple coming in here. I definitely want to see Bitcoin do that if we are to, definitely have continuation, right? we saw the move coming. We saw this response here from the 4-hour and the daily. Both charts were kind of showing that there should be a bounce to be expected, and it did. The 4 hours actually looking a little bit more, a little better actually. We're actually now on top of the 55. We got above the 30 here, the 21, the 100, and the 55 here. Now we're battling against it. We did break above it, but got rejected over here at the 200. Came all the way back down to the 55, and now we're using that as support. Again, as long as we don't lose this key area of support here, which coincides with the 30 simple on the daily, if I'm not too wrong on that. Let's see here. So yeah, the to be fair, the 55 is coming in a little bit underneath that, but it just tells you, there's the two charts are giving some sort of confluence there as far as support. Yeah, slightly lower, about $20 lower. So I mean, that just tells you again, there's confluence, there's support, showing some confluence there. So this area should definitely hold. At least for the lower time frames. Again, we might actually trend within a small range here, but eventually, if we want to see this actually tick up and have continuation, we're no doubt we're probably going to come back and retest the 200 here. And again, this will be the game changer in my eyes. If we get above the 200, start opening and closing some 4 hours above it, that's the game changer. So if you want to write down on your sticky note, put it on your calendar, or not calendar, but on your monitor or your keyboard, whatever you are trading. Definitely, as if we flip to 200 on the 4 hour, that's going to be a huge indicator in my eyes that we are to actually continue the run upwards. The daily 55 is sort of coming in along with the 200, right around the same area for the daily. So if you want to write that down, the 55 is also a great area of interest on the daily chart. All right, so if we can get above that, that's also on the daily. It's going to be an even more significant event. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and hopefully that will actually turn out to be the right move. Nice, some nice volume here. We did actually get above the exponential here in the volume signature or the volume indicator. With two red nodes and one green node, indicating this massive price action here. Because I mean, what was the change here? 9.87%. It closed at $654 price action move after from the opening to the closing, not including the wicks, right? So I mean, significant move, and all in a couple hours worth. So we know that Bitcoin is known to do that, and it is really no surprise. But what we really want to see is continuation of this run sooner rather than later, because if we don't, again, this could just mean that the bounce fizzled out, and we're actually going to come back and have continuation to the downside. Which again, remember, guys, the macro trend is we're in a downtrend. We're in a downward momentum, right? Everything continuously setting lower lows and lower highs. Again, that is indicative of a definite downward bearish trend here. So until we break something here, we either again break out or break down. The sentiment is the same. You're going to be trading it the same way. It is on a bearish momentum. Again, very difficult to make money on a bear pattern, bear trend. If you are a novice trader, I wouldn't recommend you do that. Get a few months, at least 6 to 12 months under your belt trading before you can even attempt to do this, right? If you are shorting it, then good for you, because every bounce has turned out to be, as our buddy Theo at Crypto99 has said a few times, these bounces are to be shorted, and so as of right now, that is still the case. That it's still true. I mean, look at this line of resistance here within this smaller trend here, shorter trend. We're continuously setting lower highs, right? So 1, 2, 3, retesting this line of resistance. However, we can't get above it. So that just tells you, if we don't get above this line of resistance here and start trading above it, then so this could actually work out as something to also pay attention to, here's a descending trend line of resistance. If we can get on top of it, then again, that is the first indicator that we are to have continuation to the upside. We also want to see it in the volume, and we also want to see the stochastic, keep extending upwards into the bullish control zone. And if we do get all of these three signs, then we should have continuation, at least to the 55 here, or the 200 on the 4-hour. All right. And we see it here on the shorter time frames. Now, again, another thing that we're looking at is that the inverse head and shoulders. As long as we don't break the 55 here and still build the right shoulder here, we can trade sideways a little bit longer. That's fine. But eventually, we definitely do want to see that move, upwards. If this is even a inverse head and shoulders like we did see here back here play out. All right. Okay. So what else do we have? I also want to make a reminder that, we did a video on a longer term analysis called The 3 Signs That Bitcoin Hasn't Found a Bottom Yet. I want to recommend you guys go watch that because it is a long term video. It is in our playlist here. If you just go back about a week, actually a couple weeks ago is when I recorded that video. So I do want to make a recommendation. You guys can click on this on the banner here on the video, and that will take you directly to that. All right, so let's see here. Let's actually take a look at let's actually take a look at the SPY, because why is that relevant? Well, we just today marked another all-time high within the S&P. So here's what I want to here's what I want you guys to take away from this video is, compare the two. Bitcoin's on a downtrend. If you are looking to make money in these markets or trading, this is very easy, right? This is a downtrend. This is a bearish trend that we're in, and then you have the SPY, which is in a complete tear, right? I mean, it's just going up and up and up and up. It doesn't matter what. Really, doesn't seem to matter what is happening in world economics or politics. I mean, Mr. Trump just got impeached last night, and the S&P just says, "Fuck it," let's just keep on doing what we're doing, and obviously setting a new all-time high. So what I'm trying to say here is that there's more opportunity in other markets, such as traditional markets. It is as simple as just opening like one of those Robinhood accounts. And just dump some money in there, start buying, and it's good practice too if you're a beginner. They have zero fees. They don't know I'm doing this. I'm not getting paid to even say this. So there's just opportunity in these other markets. Gold's not doing too bad. It's actually holding up pretty good. Although this tends to work as a hedge play, right? Let's actually look at Tesla real quick to see how it was doing. It was facing some all-time resistance, all-time high prices, and it did actually get above it. So this is a huge indicator, right? Look at this thing. We actually got above, or Tesla actually managed to jump above this previous line of resistance here from all-time highs. It actually got above it and started actually trading way above its all-time high. So what is next, you might ask? Well, there should be continuation of this. On the 4-hour, we are painting some sort of indicator that this might actually come back and retest the 30 at least in the shorter time frame of things. I do want to remind you guys, on the last video I did call for a 3,200 target before the end of the week, and voila, we did hit that. So pretty good call on that one. So let's also look at Apple. These are legacy plays here that you can't go wrong with. If you don't have $280, again, I know Robinhood is going to soon start to trade. You're going to be able to. They're going to start offering fractional trades, so you'll be able to buy a fraction of Apple stock. So you'll be able to get in on these sort of plays. But again, just a little bit of what am I trying to say here? Perspective here on what some of the opportunities that are out there. You guys can be trading in traditional markets. I don't want to get too much into crypto tonight, except for waves, which was doing something pretty interesting. It is coming back down to retest the 21 and still in a bullish posture. But you can see that we are already in a sort of a symmetric triangle here. This is kind of what we're doing. And once we get about almost like to the point where it's like 75 to 80% filled within this formation, then we can expect to move, whether it's to the upside or downside. It does look like it's fizzling out. The volume is definitely letting us know, and the RSI is also letting us know that this move is probably over. We are going to probably grind our way down to the 21 and quite possibly break down from this. All right. That's what it's looking at right now at this present time. But again, things can turn around at any moment. But that is kind of what to be expected. I would wait to see if waves actually grinds down a little bit more to this bottom area of support here before it actually finds a bounce. That might actually be a nice little play before eventually just breaking down from this triangle, unless the market goes wild and Bitcoin just puts in another good move, which we've seen sporadically in these markets. VT on the daily also looking like it's getting pretty tired here. The volume is lackluster, definitely losing interest from the market. So again, this same kind of scenario is going to be possible. That's kind of what I'm going with for VET. All right, so those are some of the interesting plays that are going on in the market. This is the daily. Daily also again being tamed by the exponential here within the volume indicator. The daily, we'll see. We'll have to watch it. It's a little too early to call this, but it is trying to get back into the neutral control zone. If it does actually succeed, we could see continuation of this run here, which we're already kind of seeing here on a daily. Daily is telling a different story. It did find support above the 200 simple there, so definitely a good indicator there. But we definitely want to see the volume pick up. We also want to see the stochastic actually give a try and actually get above this. See where my cursor is down below where the stochastic is. We definitely want to see the RSI actually get above that point if we are to really talk about any meaningful moves. So right there, that's kind of what you want to see. You want to see this little guy get up above this line of resistance there and get back into the bullish control zone if we are to call a significant move. All right, so that is all I have. Like I said, I want to make this video exclusive to those who are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you won't see me post this into like the other groups, like the other social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, all those. Maybe Twitter. I will do Twitter because I know some of you are following me there. So if you are following and are subscribed to the either the Twitter platform or the YouTube platform, then you should get these notifications. All right, guys, so I will wrap it up there. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you got something in exchange for your time here today. Please leave it down in the comments if there's something you want me to cover. And we'll see you guys on the very next one. Thanks.